and use it and turn it into something positive, and to at least have a good life. If I'm gonna die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy.
Yeah, why do people go insane when they see a little change? But the world will stop it all with a bullet to the brain. Try and take care and I'm trying to maintain. Put a knife in my back over shit that I say. Leave me out in the rain, but I really don't care. Cause the dark as the nights bring the brightest of days. I've been carving away, pray I don't die here. You can kill my body, but you never kill my buzz in a fucking light year. I'm light years ahead of you, trying to figure out a new way just to get it through my body and my mind. One thing, gotta get into and really gotta get it for they kept me in a billy coop. People gun you down cause they see you ballin'. Got me daydreaming about the time I started. That's why I'm always gonna keep my guard up. Motherfuckers trying to leave you slump for commas.
Legends never die, they gon' live on in our minds. Been searching for some answers, but they getting hard to find. How can someone take a life? I think I've come to realize that for everyone that love you, someone wanna see you die. Legends never die, they gon' live on in our minds. I've been searching for some answers, but they getting hard to find. How can someone take a life? I think I've come to realize that for everyone that love you, someone wanna see you die.
Never know what you have till it up and leave it. When you're gone, that's when people appreciate you. So while I'm on earth, gotta preach to people. Don't take life for granted, cause this shit ain't free throw. Kids shoot guns before they shoot free throw. So I gotta keep an eye on them like a people. Can't get caught up in a traffic lethal, cause motherfuckers only trying to kill the heroes, or so that I'm told. Here for everyone, raise a fist if you're giving up hope. I will be here as a light that can guide you through darkness. I promise we'll get through this boat. And I know that you may bend and may feel that you're broken, but promise me you will not fold. And up to X, I'll keep pushing your positive message up until my vocals are broke. I'm not giving up hope, got my back on the ropes, but I promise that I'm coming back with some hope. If I can put rap in a positive image and I can inspire these people to reach for their goals. The song is a thank you for all that you left for us. RIPX, we all miss you the most. Hope I can do at least half the shit you had accomplished whenever my casket closed.
Legends never die, they gon' live on in our minds. Been searching for some answers, but they getting hard to find. How can someone take a life? I think I've come to realize that for everyone that love you, someone wanna see you die.
Regardless of the negative around my name, regardless of the bad things people say to me, I don't give a fuck. Because I know my goal in the end, and I know what I want for everyone, and I know what my message is. So I just wanted to say, I appreciate and love all of you, and I believe in you all. Do not let your depression make you. Do not let your body define your soul. Let your soul define your body. You are worth more than you could believe. All you have to do is dream, and all you have to do is have the strength to fulfill that dream. Pain is a sign of progress. When you feel pain, there is progress. I love you all. Make sure you have a good day.
Legends never die, they gon' live on in our minds. Been searching for some answers, but they getting hard to find. How can someone take a life? I think I've come to realize that for everyone that love you, someone wanna see you die.
I love you all. Make sure you have a good day.
Hey, yo, Cam, this shit lit.
I just wanna be the greatest. I just wanna really make it. I just wanna be the one you find on your main bitch's playlist. People saying that I'm crazy, thinking that I'll never make it, but I'm running over motherfuckers who are thinking that I be basic.
Eye on my hip, I speak pin lab, but not the pigs. You speak the pigs, then you a snitch. Body pouch in a ditch. Find a nigga that tried me, you'll find a body next to his. Desktop stuffed with bricks, like a plug, I'm going in. Hold on, got birds flying out. No lip boxes, ain't no bout. Cooking coke like I wash dishes, mashed potatoes, nah these pigeons. I'm just trying to be the greatest. On my way, I'ma make it. Ink your hair, make a statement. In that opinion you got, you can save it. Hold on.
I just wanna be the greatest. I just wanna really make it. I just wanna be be the one you find on your main bitch playlist. People saying that I'm crazy, thinking that I'll never make it, but I'm running over motherfuckers who are thinking that I be basic. Haters mad, I'm always rapping tighter than some dreadlocks. I'm just making hits to get my rings, I'm like the Red Sox. No, they never felt I was accustomed to the fast life. Now every song I write, y'all think the best I ever had, right?
Alright guys, so we about to get it started. I think I might need to crank up my mic a little bit. Looks like it's not coming through as heavy, so give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I don't want it to hit the red, so we're gonna leave it right there. Alright, here we go. What's up guys? So we're down here for another stream. I decided to do just my mixing process. I know I've had a couple people ask me about what I do in my process whenever I'm mixing things. So we're gonna take the Quick Beat Friday that I did yesterday on my stream, and we're gonna try to mix this all the way out. Now I'm treating this like it's the Quick Beat Friday. I usually separate all my processes from the creative process to the mixing process to the mastering process. Not that great at mastering. My room's not even treated for that yet. I'm still learning the ins and outs of what's expected of a mastering engineer. So usually what happens, y'all saw me make the beat in Machine, and I would export all of those files out as audio files into a stem folder and leave it inside the project itself. What happens is I go from Machine and I take the audio files and drop them into Cubase, and I do all mixing there. The biggest advice I have about this, and I'm pretty sure there are other engineers that will tell you the same, is to not do the mixing process inside of the creative process, and vice versa, because you don't want to be concentrating on creative things as much when you're inside of your mixing process. You're trying to make everything sound balanced, make sure it all sounds dynamic, everything sounds good across the board, and you're not trying to create a bunch of new instruments and all of that mess. If you want to add certain things to give it a texture or ambience that you're looking for, do that, but try to separate each process so they do not run over each other and you're just sitting there with a cluster inside of your head. Go into each one only focusing on that one thing. So, and what we're going to do is I'm going to take all of these audio files and we're going to drop them right here in the beginning. And yes, all different tracks. And I'm going to, they're technically inside the project folder. So we're going to do, yeah, we're going to check this one here. Boom. All right. So first process, of course, drop everything in. Oh, I did not mention, this is my template for mixing, mainly for beats and stuff. It's a general template that I use. I made this one, and I also have one that's made for vocal mixing because I feel like that should be separated also. I'm still learning, but I like separating them, and then if things start meshing, I'll build another template. I also have one for my film composition that's based on my Complete Control that I have. That one is still in the works. All right, so of course I've dropped everything into this template, and now we're gonna, this is something that I've learned to do inside. Ooh, I need to cut that thing out. 1 second, guys. My screen orientation is taking over. And I'm pretty sure you saw how that snapped to the corner like that, so. Boom. All right. So this is something I have to do in order to lock things into the template. Thank you, Trayvon. I do appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. All right, so each instrument usually drops into Cubase at 120-ish or whatever, and you have to change everything to musical mode and the tempo 162. that I originally did everything in. 162 is what the tempo was in Machine, and I've changed everything here to 162 and click out. Now what I usually do is, now it's time to organize everything. So I have all these folders here, I have all the instruments here. Let's drop them down and make it a little bit bigger. Boom. Okay, now I usually play the track and start getting things to roll through my head and see what it is that I want to do as I'm organizing everything. So I'm gonna have the track looping. If you've never mixed anything before, there's a lot of repetitive listening, so be prepared. That's what you hopped in for. Okay, here we go. I also just changed the tempo in the project to 162 to match what we originally had it at. So there we go. Couple of instruments I never used, so I'm gonna remove them. Good God. Boom. Now they're all gone. If y'all are getting a lot of volume, just let me know. Yeah, just let me know if you're getting a lot of volume right now. This control room knob is increasing in my ears. I'm thinking it's coming out to y'all. If it's getting crazy, let me know. Alright, so now I got them all renamed, and I'm going to move them into their respective folders. Synth. This is technically a vocoder. obviously a guitar, and boom, from here to here. The entire drum kit there, and our 808 here. Open all folders. Yep, starting to look crazy, but it all makes sense to me because everything's organized, color coded, and I'm gonna finish up the colors right here. Actually, so let's get this back on repeat. Starting to hear some things I want to do. A lot of frequencies that need some taming. Boom. All right. I'm gonna keep this on repeat. Head back to the beginning. Oh, wait. So this is something that I do personally. Actually, keep that in. So something that I actually do personally is that every time I have like crash cymbals, as weird as it is, I take it away from the rest of the drum kit and tame it. That's just my own personal preference, but the high frequencies hurt my ears around 8K. Anything higher that's really brash, like someone crashing a cymbal. The hi-hats and the open hi-hats I live in the rest of the kit, but that crash I separate. And any other type of auxiliary percussion, as you see this is named aux perc. Here we go. I'm gonna continue this labeling. My God. Happens when you move too fast. And technically this tambourine and the clap are supposed to come out of here too. Yeah. Down. Alright. Orange and more orange. Hey, yeah. Okay. Everything's labeled now. With that being said, now we're going to pull up the mix console. So the first thing that I do, something that I've learned from researching, looking at other engineers, producers, stuff, YouTube, Instagram, you name it. Everything is at your disposal. It's the internet. You can find quite a bit. So now that I have everything organized, first thing I do is I need to reroute everything in my mix console. So my mix console, boom, here it is. I've done some organization inside this template so I can see the full mixer of everything. I have my master and most of my post buses on the left always. Let's make that big. There we go. But I also have my group tracks, so I can only see those. And I just have to remove the new stuff. Whenever you add something new in Cubase inside of a pre-template, you have to just kind of make it disappear. So, selected, hide selected tracks. Boom. And update in my effects tracks. We're going to hide the selected ones. Correct. These are all my effects tracks and sends that I have. Boom, 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 boom. There's quite a bit, but yes, as you can see, I have like, what was that, 3 delays, 3 reverbs, 4 or 5 from modulation, distortion, spatial effects, and I have some special stuff specifically for my drum kits and auxiliary percussion and cymbals. Boop. Tape, and I made sure I made some extra ones in case there's something here that's not covered. I'm gonna update that now, and then for exporting. Hide all of these. Okay. Boom. Technically, when I'm doing this and I'm about to export, these are the only things I need to see. My master bus and the very last chain of the master bus. I made another master bus that's right before it that does my quick mastering, which just has my ozone on it. Tape, a post mix bus, which I use the tape effects to add a little other mastering to it before it hits ozone. And then this premix bus, which is where I do a lot of weird stuff. If I want to do some tape stops, filter sweeps, anything like that. Halftime is a nice little plugin to use. You've probably heard all these effects on every piece of pop music you've ever heard. So we're going to update you. And we're back to the full mix. Boom. Now, as you can see, everything is split, each audio file, and what we're going to do, these are color coded because they're going to go to a certain bus that I have marked down the way. Down here. So, here we go. Get these started. So as I do this, you're going to hear everything get a lot quieter. Let me get my mix room set where it needs to be. Everything's going to get crazy quiet. Everything's currently, when you drop it in, going to the very last chain, which is this master out that's happening. Once I move this, it's going to go through all of these other chains that I have set, and there's a certain amount of gain, as you can see in post mix right here, goes at -10. I will explain that later because it's only something that I do because it's just something I kind of experimented with and figured out. It's probably totally wrong. If there's a mix engineer to help me out with gain staging, that would be appreciated. All right, here we go. It's a piano, keys bus, guitar bus. We're going to separate those two. The characteristics are pretty close, but there's certain things I want to do to one versus the other. So 808 bus. Ooh, hold up. Yeah, 808. Ooh, Lord. 808, please. Alright, kicks going to the drum kit, the drum bus. I know y'all hear the volume dropping out. Alright, got the aux bus. Boom. Now, everything's like crazy quiet. I'm pretty sure y'all can't hear much of anything. Yeah, it's extremely quiet. Okay, so now, so after making that happen, oop. Alright, so after having all that go, you can now see inside the console. Drag that up. Inside the console, all the audio is now coming through these group tracks. I'm gonna give y'all somewhere a little bit more busy, somewhere down here. There we go. Real busy. Now everything's coming through here. So some of y'all might be wondering, why would you do that when you already have the audio coming out down here? The biggest reason why you do this, especially at home studios, your computer can only do so much. So what I have learned from a couple, actually just me fracking out on my old computer, once you start adding plugins to do the corrections you need, the more you put on one chain, the harder your computer works. So doing certain things spread out over different tracks, even if it means to reroute it through other ways, makes it less taxing on your computer. And the reason why you want that is because all that crackling, popping, and you'll just see things start going crazy. And if it's really bad, you'll just crash out. The entire program will just crash. Done it multiple times. There's a reason why I got this new computer. The old one was not holding it. This one has way more CPU cores. Maybe one day we could do a video about what I discovered with building this computer and why I made the choices of what I did with certain parts in order to make this thing work as flawless as I can get it. We could talk about that. But the more effects you put on here, the more processing power is needed from your CPU. So I do less taxing things on the actual audio stems themselves down here. And then the more crazy stuff I want to do, I do it down here. So some of the stuff will group up. As you saw, I put all the drum kits, all the drum stuff into one kit, and I do group things down here with that. And then after you go past this, you get to the pre-post and master bus stuff. It all makes sense later. If you have a computer, you're a music producer, I'm pretty sure you know what I am talking about right now. All right, so first things first, we're gonna actually mix. Now we got some organizing things going on. Static mixing. So this is the process that I learned, I think actually from iZotope. I think I learned it from iZotope. Is this not orange? Okay, now it's orange. All right. Dropping all of your faders down and balancing them when coming up. I typically try not to go past somewhere in -15 to 10. I try not to push it that hard because then once you add more plugins, there's a natural thing where each plugin does some gain work and you just can't really get rid of it. So I try to keep everything down as low as I can, but balance all the way across. The whole point of the static mix is to balance everything. So we're gonna find the busiest part of this song where most of the instruments are. So we're gonna open up everything, kind of look at all the audio files, see all the scrungy, scratches all over the place. And I think we're gonna set up a loop around here. You see it's like super busy on each one except, yeah, the rim knock is not there, which we can go back and balance that in next. So just from listening to this, make sure this is right. I'm going to put the start marker there, and here we go. Back to the mix console. Zip, 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 zip. Yeah, break it. Yeah. Oh, clap. Yeah. Nope. All right. So, actually, am I able to do this here? Nope. Can I do this? Yes, I can. Alright guys, I know you can't see it right now. I gotta get more cameras. This is me starting out. But the Komplete Kontrol Native Instruments keyboard actually allows me to use the faders on here into Keybase besides actually having to have machine. So I'm gonna try to do everything from down here, from one side to the other. Make that nice and big so y'all can actually see the faders as I'm moving them. All right, so just pay attention. Sorry about that crash symbol. Also, if you have any panning ideas, this is a good time to figure that out too. Panning meaning left to right, or if you're doing mid and stereo, which I don't usually do that to the end. We'll talk about that later. But right now is a good time to do your panning if you want to get things out of the way. You don't want everything down the middle. It just causes too many problems. Even if you move it just a little bit. So another thing, I'm not sure if any other DAW does this, but at the bottom here, you have the fader volume that you're setting it to, but then right here will show you the peak of what's coming through. So even though you might have it set to 16, it's actually gonna the highest point of your audio file is at this point. Now when we first started, it's got already preset to what it was before, so you have to click here in order for it to reset. No, we're not worried about the tags. You have to click here for it to reset and then watch where it falls. So as I'm noticing this, listening to the 808 and kick, I am going to put a mono plugin on my kick. I might, yeah, I'm thinking to make sure that this is coming through mono as much as I can, because the 808 and the kick are pretty much doing the same thing the entire time as far as the attack goes for every note. And I don't want that stereo image to get lost in the sauce later on. I don't want the kick to get spread out so thin for later processing. So whenever I take it through, get to the inserts, when I start putting plugins in, I'm definitely going to set this to mono and then do things after the fact. All right. So some of my panning choices, if you notice, the you don't move the 808, you don't move the kick away from the middle. You just don't do that. Unless you about to do some really weird stuff that I have no clue about, you're not moving that. It needs to stay in the middle to be real solid. Those things have to be solid. Now, my choice for leaving the piano in there is because it's the main melodic instrument inside of this whole beat. It's the foundation of everything. Everything we built. We started with that piano part, ended with that piano part. It is the meat of the whole plate. So I left it in the middle, and we moved everything else around it away. I could have done some hard left, hard right stuff. I just thought this would be a softer approach. I might change my mind later, but honestly, once you're done with the static mix and you have this set, that's it. You don't mess with this anymore because you're gonna throw everything else out of balance. Now I'm gonna take it back to listen to this rim knock. The drum kit, I don't leave everything in the middle, of course. I move everything out of the way. Kick stays in the middle no matter what. But the snare, I kind of do this thing. It's just my own personal preference. I move the hi-hat closed, that you're always hearing. I move that to the right, and I move the open part, the longer cymbal, over to the left. So it kind of plays on your ears a little bit. Now, anything that's more like the 2 and 4 of every beat, you know, the snare, rim knock, claps, you name it. In this case, I got the clap, the rim knock, and the snare. I move the snare over to the left. I move the rim knock over to the left, and they're not going to be on top of each other because the rim knock is coming through in a different time than the snare, but it's playing the same characteristic as the snare. So we moved them into the same atmosphere as far as painting goes. Then for the tambourine, I just kind of moved it over to the right. The clap, I put opposite of the snare and the rim knock because the clap will be playing the same time the snare will be. So we got it spread out. Cymbals, the crash cymbal usually live in the middle. I just do some spatial things to give it some air. I'm pretty sure y'all know what reverb is to make that, give it some space, make you feel like make you feel like you're in space. Yeah. All right, let's go back to where we got this rim knock. Boom, rim knock's right there. That's the rim knock. So let's listen to that. Let's see how it's gonna fit. I can't hear it right now, so here we go. That's gonna actually, might regret that later. We'll pull that down a little bit. We're gonna pull that down. Might regret that later. There we go. I might crank that later on down the road. I really want that to sing through. That rim knock is sexy as hell. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Now, and yes, for those who hear the kick and the 808 out of lock, they're not locked in on the same. Yeah, sorry about that. It's called Quick Beat Friday. Kind of missed that. Alright, where is... Oh. I gotta do some modifications to this template, guys. I'm gonna add Insight. So Insight by iZotope. I purchased iZotope's music production, what is it, 3 now? I didn't know about Insight before, but it's a good metering plugin, and it has a lot of stuff that I still don't know how to use. But I know I look at this here to see where my loudness is as I go through the entire mixing process. Because you can start mixing and think you're hearing stuff. This is going to tell you the truth. This will stop your ears from lying to you. All right, here we go. Now we're going to usually start with the melodic things. Alright. So now we're going to switch the Bix console look, since we're going to work with the group channels now. Oh, that's perfect. It goes all the way across. That's so perfect. Alright. I'm going to close out Insight. And this is why I have these buses on this side. Like if I need to pull up my metering and see where I'm at, boom, it's right there. So when you're making your templates for anything, whether it's the creative process, any of those processes, think about that stuff. That's your workflow. Whatever you can make it easier to get to certain things, to find out things, make it that way. Now, let's start with the keys. Now I'm gonna crank up the control room to hear what I got going on. I don't do too much gain stuff here. If I do plan on gaining something, this is my reference level. This is based off my room, my headphones, what I'm hearing, and it's a nice little comfy zone. This will be different. I don't think any other DAW has this, but I'm pretty sure you can get a setup to make this work. But my control room will be here, and whenever I need to pump it up, so I can hear everything clearly, cut out whatever frequencies. Ooh, not 30, just 3. Perfect. So all of my group checks all have Neutron on them. I always start with Neutron, and the passive EQ afterwards I've just grown fond of. It's by Native Instruments. So let's turn on Neutron. Now for Quick Beat Friday, I use the Neutron's like intelligence thing where it goes through and kind of gives you a starting point. It is a starting point when this is in Quick Beat Friday mode. I just let it do its thing. I kind of modify things that it detected and then go on to the next thing. So this is going to be up front. Intensity, I do want it high because this is actually, yeah, absolutely. If you want to, you can put in the instrument that you have. I'll put in piano. Usually I leave it on auto and let it do its thing. All right, let's see what it did. Is that extra reverb I'm hearing? Oh, wow. Well, there you go, guys. So I disabled the plugin. And then this is what Neutron thought it needed. And I actually really do like that. I just need to cut out the lows. That's a good starting point. This plugin is phenomenal. And I see it raise the lows down here. Now let me make sure I get this bigger for y'all. That's a new feature they just added to Neutron, actually. Is allowing the interface to be a lot bigger. Because you couldn't do that. That size y'all saw first, that's usually where it sits. Well, now that I'm streaming and I can make it bigger, it's easier for y'all to see. So I'm gonna take that bottom out. Perfect. So I'm cutting out the bottom frequencies because that is where my 808 and my kick are going to be occupying most. So we got what, 60, 100. I should cut out up to 30, but I don't want to cut the body of the actual instrument out too much. It's a piano. It's going to have some low resonance to it. Now compression wise, I am the worst at compressors. Interesting. And when compressor, exciter, then compressor. Oh wow, that's some major compression happening. Let's see what it did with the exciter. So exciter is a distortion plugin, and it's got 4 settings. They have 1, 2, tape, retro. A lot of times in the higher frequencies, you would most likely tend to use retro and tape because it just sounds better. Distortion is a lot better. If I crank that up to 100, you can kind of hear a difference. Got a little bit louder for y'all. Oh, I'm not sure if y'all can hear that at all. Hold on. Y'all probably can't hear that. Oh, well. Let's see. All right, we're gonna bring that back down, and then okay. Oh, it chose tape for there. Oh, I can see why. Yeah, right there. I do like that. Alright, now we got the guitar. Turn on Neutron. Alright. I think that might help y'all out so y'all can hear it. Perfect. Alright, let's pull up Neutron again. Track enhancement. It is a guitar. It is a clean electric, actually. All these new presets from them. So this is after processing. I don't know what they did with the sculptor plugin, but this thing really brings out the character in a lot of stuff. That's actually pretty smart. I'm gonna cut out a little bit more. I am not totally upset with this at all. Give me another one. It's that good old 2K-ish. I think we're gonna cut that out right there. Make it real tiny. Right in there. Make it really tiny. Alright. That's different. Compress the whole thing, then did separate compressions here. Usually I would do heavier compression, which it did a light ratio. It didn't do that much compression here. And then heavier compression on the backside. A little bit of makeup on the bottom side. So the top. Not that much makeup. I don't think it needs that much makeup. That ratio is fine. I would usually all the way to 100. Yeah, okay. Let's see some. So So this is where the passive EQ comes in a lot of times. So I lose a little gain sometimes after Neutron whenever I let it do that. So this thing does a really good job. So crisp and wide. And bypassing it right now, and then yeah, gives it a little bit more body. Actually, a taste of distortion too on the top. Right. Yeah. Now I remember when I was doing this in the last stream that I wanted to add a bit of distortion on this. I'm not sure if the exciter is gonna do it for me. This is gonna not be here, so we're gonna do auto detect. It needs to be warm. Medium intensity, why not? So it sounds like reference. Yeah, even before you couldn't hear the guitar as well. It didn't cut through as much. I didn't want to put gain on it. But now it's singing the way it needs to. Let's listen to the synth now. Ooh, those mids are nice. And yes, the mids are there. Compression. Heavy with the ratio. And then my backside. That's usually how I would do it. That up. The one that I'm concerned with the most. It does need to be warm. Let's mix this heavier. Harmonic distortion, yeah. Right. Now a little spicy on the top. That saturation's nice. I really want to crank this thing more. So the retro one is, it really saturates the top versus the tape. The tape doesn't. It does more the mids and highs. The retro really crisp up the highs. So big time. Move that over for you. Okay, so we're gonna close that out. I think I'm satisfied with that, but I think I want to add my own distortion to it after the fact. Let's see what it sounds like in the mix. Yeah. Wow. That thing's really messing with it. Let's try this devil lock and see what happens. So, like I said earlier in the stream, when you start adding plugins, there's a bunch of gain that starts happening. This is why you don't crank a lot inside of your static mix. You want it down low for a good balance. And then as you're going through it and you're adding plugins, adjust from there going up. You need to have a lot of headroom at the end to give the mastering engineer what he needs. If it fits, if it sounds good, go for it. If it needs to be cranked, it is what it is. Crank, do what you got to do. So, top ankle making me feel like a bird. Yeah, Sublime. I really wanted to get the whole like console look thing going on here. Whenever my piano's out, I'm gonna try different angles. I would love to get a second webcam so y'all could get like close face and the console and everything that I have here. So it does like a bird angle, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna add this distortion from Sound Toys, the Devil Lock. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's crushing it, alright. That's that nasty I need though. I don't think I want to crank it that much. I like the fast release. Now, as you can see, it's crazy on the game. So we're gonna bring that down. Let's mix that in. Oh, it's really taking over. So now that I'm listening to this, that is the character I want, but I don't think I need to put it on the chain. This is where sins literally come in now. So I want to mix in that distortion instead of having it all the way on the instrument itself. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add a sin, and then we're gonna send it to obviously a distortion one. Boom. Now I want to copy these settings that I have it at, turn this on, and I'm gonna balance it in. Go into our effects tracks, and you see now that signal's coming in here. From the chain. There we go. So now you hear it's not that crazy. Back to the effects tracks. Now I want to mix this in like crazy. Now, there we go. So now that I got the settings I want, I've mixed it in, and it doesn't sound like it's overpowering the instrument as much. We're mixing the character into the sound. Get a nice balance. Now, let's listen to the whole thing. Back to the effects track. Alright. the character I needed. Might still be a little too strong. Alright. Don't want to get hung up on one thing. Let's get to the next one. Ooh. Next synth. This is warm. And I did put this in with the intention of more of a background type thing. Like you needed to feel that push from the synth, that warm pad. I really wanted you to just feel that. So I might even, usually I would cut out a lot of the low. I think I'll probably boost the lows in this a little bit. So give me a low shelf. Okay. And I might have to, yeah, these good. One more one on the bottom side. Yeah, I heard it already after cranking it. Crank that volume up for y'all. Sorry. I like the texture of this this synth. I really do. This is all a balancing game when mixing. I really want to bring this out a lot more. So let's try, let's try to polish. So I'm thinking a multi-band compressor would help out here, because I want to bring out the mids, that push from the synth. I really want that to come out. So, I'm gonna use the multi-band compressor that came with Keybase. I'm thinking about putting 2A on after the fact, but I'm not sure. Let's do the multi-band. Let's start there. As you can see, y'all can't really hear it that much, and putting gain on it is not always the fix, just because you can't hear it. Little compression, some EQing and stuff, that's the way to go. So a good way to see the parts that I want done, yep, just pull the EQ up. So it looks like 110, 120. Let's do that right in there. A little bit, 1000. Yeah. Yep. And then here you can solo the parts you're listening to. So these bands is literally, it's called multi-band for a reason. So, as you can see, each band is shown up here. And you can make the adjustment, you can compress each section of the whole sound. So, right now, I'm listening to here, between here and here, which I don't really need that much. I needed more of a push down here because I want the mids to come out. Yeah. Do an automatic release. Let's go down, down. There we go. Yeah, now we're getting a little bit more in there. And then so yeah, right around there for that high pitch part at the end. Let's listen to it in the whole track. There we go. Now you actually feel the synth coming through. Yeah. And I kind of want to give it a little air, but I'm not sure if I should. We're going to leave that alone for now. I was thinking like reverb or something, but we'll leave it be. All right. 808 time. 808 time. All right. Sure, here goes the bass. Let's do it. I think I might do the 808 on the actual stand. No, let's do it here. Let's do it here. Let's do it. Alright, guys, before I get in on this 808, I would love for y'all, if y'all could, like, share, subscribe, especially to the YouTube channel. That's mainly where the stream is going out to. And my Facebook channel. I have got to work on Twitch and Mixer. You know, a lot of technical difficulties. It was hard enough getting this one up. But I'm going to learn. So I appreciate y'all coming in. It's been watching. Let's continue. Alright. Get this cranked. Oh, so one of the things I always have an issue with the 808 is the bite. And then, so the kick usually has most of your thump, right? That's what you got. That's what you crank your subs in your car for. And then your 808 also has a taste of that. Some people just use the 808 and crank the top out to give you that thump that you need. I usually try to cut out. This is my thought process. Cut out what you don't need from the 808 and amplify that in the kick. Cut out what you don't need from the kick and amplify that in the 808. That is just kind of what I think as I'm going through this whole thing. So in the 808, I usually try and cut out some of the higher frequencies because your kick most of the time is going to be up way higher than the 808 will be. The kick is more of a short thump, and the 808 most of the time resonates. It's a low resonation. So I will, ooh, I see what they did. That's kind of weird. I don't know if I'm going to take this advice from Neutron this time. Let's see. You see this? See that fall? So that's where most of the punch is. And it cut it out, which is kind of what I was going to do in the first place. Now, why is it cutting out and amplifying? I am mad confused. Maybe it meant to create like this arc thing going on here. See, that I can deal with. What am I getting at right here? -20. Now some compression. What we got? Gotta be careful. See, I don't like this middle part. It just sounds... And it could just be that this sample for the 808. Not even it's a sample, because I made it on a synthesizer. Yeah, I'm a little curious. I want to do a little makeup right here, but not that much. Let's crank it. You see that? There's a lot of artifacts in there. That's that crackle popping that y'all getting. Ew. So I'm actually gonna drop that out a bit because that does not sound good. Yeah, the higher parts of the 808 do not sound good. Nice and warm. See? Yeah, that's non-existent. I keep forgetting to make sure y'all can hear this. And Exciter 2. I don't want to accentuate what's already bad in those frequencies. Bring that down a little bit. Yeah, nice, big, and warm. Y'all feel that difference? Yeah. That'll shake the screws out of your car. All right, let's listen to it in the context of everything. So let's do without it. Put it back in. See a much warmer sensation. Now, I'm going to go back to the kick on its actual channel itself. Back where we started, so back here. And playing both of the C now. You hear how the kick is covering up that, yeah, it's, and of course me not being cautious. Try 3, please. So we're gonna have to cut that out and accentuate what we took out of the 808. So here we go. Oh my God, how did I let that happen? How did I let that be off like that? I already hear the exciter on the kick. Ew. What the hell? Hell no. Is that coming from here? Yeah, that is coming. Oh, cut that shit out. Yeah, we're getting rid of that. That's not happening. Nice little character to it. Alright, now let's cut this out. Oh, can't cut too much. Now see, now we ran into probably a poor choice in kick. That's what this is sounding like to me. So this is me not, yeah, I just don't like the kick. It's gonna take too much doctoring. So this is poor choice in instrumentation. Now. I should have just turned this to a high shell. Alright, so the high shell kind of gave it a little bit more bite. This mid though. I don't know if we should have cut that out. The band shell. There we go. Yeah, in there. That thump. Let's try with the 808. So this would be more problematic if I was trying to have the kick as an individual thing. Like if I paired the kick and the 808 to do separate hits and separate things, this would really be problematic. I would just flat out get rid of this kick altogether. It doesn't have enough bite to it. It's way too low. It almost sounds like more like an 808. So yeah, this is just a poor choice in instrumentation. and that's on me. Quick Beat Fridays. Quick for a reason. Gots to be more careful. So. So the question is, how does this sound in the section where there isn't any 808s? Oh my god. Ooh wee. Choices, because I don't like the way that sounds. Good God. What to do? I'm not sure what to do with that. That's not gonna work. That right there is not gonna work. Alright, let's move this over. I got two screens in case y'all don't know. I'm gonna let y'all see what I'm doing on this side rather than me messing with this editing side. I need to. Let's see if we can fix this. Back to record here just that. So I'm not sure if the 2A is the answer. 2A is usually a saver for me. That's by Native Instruments. I think the compression on the thing is phenomenal. It's warm and it takes out the peaks. So I forgot which one of these is it. Let's try the 160. I hit 2A again, didn't I? Is this the one? Oh, it's not even activating this one. Not even. Yeah, and that 160 is not it. That made it sound thinner. That let's try some 2 compression with the GT. I know there's one in here. It's like kick. Fat kick. Okay, there's a little character change there. concentration bag. That actually isn't that bad. Don't need too much bite. Bring this. Okay. Alright, now with that being said, I'm gonna put the 2A on here to control those peaks after the GT. So yes, the way you put your plugins in order do matter. They matter a little bit. So especially when you're trying to get a certain character out of something. So we're going to bypass this. Let's try this again. Now. Woo! I'm kind of okay. I'll take that. We're gonna take that. I'm gonna sit here all day when the actual thing that you would do when you're in there mixing. If you receive this from someone else, you make sure that that is the instrument that they wanted. If that's what they wanted, leave it alone. Clean it up as much as you can and go about your business. If you're mixing your own stuff and you realize this, take that out, get rid of it, find something else. I don't think this kick matches. It might just be my own opinion, but after listening to this thing, I don't think it matches at all with the rest of the song. It doesn't. So we'll progress on from here though. Now, since we got the 808 and the kick kinda into where we want it, we're gonna get it back to where we had it looping before. Where are you at? Right here. There we go. And I'm probably going to have to bring down the kick after all that processing. This is why you don't get caught up in too much. And then you got to do the stuff for the group. So, alright guys. Before I get into this kick, I'm going to take a little pee break. So, enjoy the loop for now. And solo this for you. Alright, listen to it. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I am back. So let's get back into this thing. We kind of almost there. We almost there. So, boom, we in this thing. All right. Now back to the El Kikido. Let's get this popping. Well, not the kick, the drum kit itself. Let's see what it did. Ooh, that kick is a thrumpa-thumping. Ooh. Oh, now that doesn't help. We're gonna make that dynamic. So with dynamic EQing, what it does is you set a threshold, kind of like the compressor. You set a threshold for once it actually comes through, it's gonna make the EQ drop down to where I have it set on this side. So I'm setting this here because obviously our kick is over thumpa-dumping over here because of probably what I did before. We're gonna play with this. If I gotta go back to the EQ and do some work, I'm gonna go back to the EQ and do some work because this is a little zealous at the moment. My God. So once this compresses, the reason why I'm saying it's overzealous, it might not sound overzealous to you, but I'm thinking about what's gonna happen later on when I do mastering compression. Ozone's gonna, it's gonna kick out. It is gonna kick it out a lot more. So let me do some work to this. Actually, it might be from this compressor. So let's take the output down. Yeah, that's better. Don't need to take the body of it out. That'll work. Now I don't have to take that much gain out now. What is this listening to? Oh, there's the punch. I can't. Ooh, I might have took out more than I needed to. Good thing I made it dynamic. Man, our good old high frequencies destroys my ears. But it's actually not that bad. I usually have to DS my hi-hats and stuff. I don't think I have to for this song. They sit in there real nicely. No, you don't want to overdo it. Pretty sure that's hurting y'all ears. It's hurting mine. I don't want that much excited on there. For nice mild compression. 50%. Nothing on the makeup. Nah. Yeah. Okay. Listen to the whole thing. music publisher hit you up. Shout out to George Gatewood. All right, so I am actually pretty confident with that entirety of that drum kit. Where you at? There you are, little buddy. The only thing I'm gonna do is add a little reverb to it. I want to give it some space, like how we did the other one. So let's play this out. Of course. So I'm gonna mix it in, but I need to definitely get the character reverb out. So I'm gonna leave it at 0. We can overdo it. Go into the effects tracks. So this is RC24. This is RC24 and the RC48 that Native Instruments provides. Yes, I have a lot of Native. I'm a Native Instruments fanboy. There you go. I said it. I said it. Okay, it's done. But with that being said, their drummer's room preset is really nice. So what I usually do is exactly what you saw me do. Send it out, crank it all the way up, and find the character. You're not listening to the volume. You're trying to get the character for the instrument. And then I'm going to mix it in with that fader on the other side. So it's cranked all the way right now. Super wet. Yeah. Let's see what it sounds like the rest of it. Oh! So this is a very ambient song. It is. That's a lot of reverb for a drum. So I don't want to cause no extra delay, too much delay. I think that 45%. Is before? After? I think the reverb just gave the kick the character I needed. I think that just improved it. It's still a little boomy, but it's like almost boom bap boomy almost. Yeah, almost. Wow, it's amazing how you keep going through, you keep pushing through, and then you find something. Now that I got that where I want it, I'm gonna give it 49, just because I'm about to take it all the way out and ramp it in. So back to the group tracks, and we're headed to the drum kit. All right, all the way out. Now let's bring it in. Y'all hear that change? I think that 11 was perfect. So after doing all this, of course, this really gives it a whole bunch of extra gain. So the fact that, like we did in the beginning of this process, now I have the room to adjust the volume to keep the balance locked in as I'm adding things to it. So now I can bring this fader down to match the rest of the track, which is what we're about to do. So So what you just saw me do is switch from pre-fader, post-fader. As you can see, the little notification thing came up right there. It was in pre. And usually when you have it in pre, it's just like putting a plug-in on top of the actual audio itself. It's a lot stronger, but when you got it on post-fader, it's more like a taste, like you're trying to sprinkle on what you need. So, I think the lighter with the post fader, I think that sounds better. Yeah, so the effects are coming after the signal rather than before. Like going into the signal is coming after the signal. I think that's correct. I believe that is correct. Yeah. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get this crash symbol out the way. Of course, the only thing I'm adding to this thing is reverb. Now, because the crash symbol only comes in every so often, I'm gonna have to loop this around that. So let's get boom. All right, here we go. Let's make that a little bit longer. Yeah, because I need to hear it. Yeah, resonate. Onto the effects tracks. That's it. So of course this is my this is my new favorite reverb. The Native Instruments did the thing with this one last December. It just sounds good on everything. Ambient song. We're gonna go for a bigger size. We're gonna cut out a lot of the lows. I'm gonna leave the highs up, and yeah, I want it 100%. So, it is a little pinchy on the top side, EQ wise. Before, after. All right, now come to the realization I do need my de-esser now. So we're going to, oh, I get to use it now. FabFilter, boom. Hello, buddy. All right, let's try using this de-esser from FabFilter in order to get rid of this. I usually use the Cubase one because I got this one. Bam, let's do it. So most of the time between 6 to 12-ish. That bite. That bite is nasty. There's a lot of bite on that thing. Maybe not use this one. Let's not do that. So, modulation. Ooh. Oh my god, where's my DSC? Bam. We're gonna stick to the Cubase one because I understand that. Bowie. Yep, that's exactly what I needed to. It's a bad frequency. That feels a little bit better. Yeah, that's where all the funky. It hurts, but now it's gone. You know. All right. Hopefully it doesn't sound empty. Yeah. That's better. After. Before. Now. Yeah. There we go. That's how you take the bite off your cymbals. De-esser is your lifesaver. Alright. I'm gonna put you back down here. Boom. Now we need to get these claps and everything else that's on auxiliary down. Let's do it. Am I losing my mind, or is that adding reverb? How? Yeah, we can go without that. Or is that the compressor doing that? Yeah, not liking that at all. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. So we're gonna do it ourselves. Let's do it. With my 2A. Alright, adding the effects to it. Let's do it. Room. Same thing as the drums. See, that's the space that I needed, not coming from the EQ and the compressor that Neutron was doing. Alright. I think that's enough reverb. It's about the same at the drum room. About 48, between 45 and 49. So now we're gonna mix it in. I'm gonna play these together. Well, let's find this first. Actually, more of the wet signal than the dry. Wet signal meaning the reverb. I want the reverb to take over more so than the actual audio from the beginning of the chain. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, this totally sounds different. Now I'm gonna check with Insight because we're getting pretty close to the end here. All right, here we go. So we just got 2 dB of gain since the beginning. I remember this was at like 33, 32 in loudness, and we just got 2 dB in gain for me doing everything I've done so far. That's me being really subtle. I'm trying to be as subtle as possible because then once we send it through the limiter and all this other mess, it's going to get a little way louder. All right, so reference. Now, what I do like to do is add more space, and sometimes I get out of hand with this, but we're gonna make sure I try not to. I'm gonna add some space to the melodic lines to give it a more full experience. So we have this. Oop. One, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna send all these through a spatial channel. So I'm gonna set that up with that one. It's gonna take some balancing act to it. And we're gonna make it post fader. So it won't exactly be reverb, it's more stereo imaging. More so than reverb when I mean space. So let's see, that's everything there. That should work. I might send the auxiliary through there, but it won't. You know what? Let's give it a shot. We're gonna do that. Now it's gonna be way louder than it's supposed to, of course, as we're adding to it. Oh, spatial 1. So I'm gonna crank this up quite a bit so y'all can hear it. There's spatial. So now we're only going to hear what's coming through here. So the imager, let's try the Studio Enhancer that's in Cubase first, and then maybe we can do some Ozone 9. So we're going to bypass this, see if the Stereo Enhancer will do it first. If it's fine, then we will be doing more spatial work in Ozone anyway. That'll be in the mastering process. But I think I might be using this one. So here we go. So this is something y'all might not hear if you're not listening on headphones, and I do have to apologize. I gotta use the bathroom again. Been drinking water like crazy, guys. Stay hydrated. That's what y'all need to do. So I'm gonna let this play again. I'll be right back. And I am back. All right, back to our space. We're going to space. Let's do it. So this spatial thing will be more so for You can hear it in the car. You can hear it in the car. If you're listening on your phones and stuff, if you don't have headphones in, you won't really feel it that much. You won't really hear what it is that's changing. But I'm pretty sure that I'm going to switch to Ozone's imager. But I'm going to make this go up and down so you can tell the difference. If you got headphones in, plug them in right now. So right now I pulled the space all the way back. It's completely mono. So that means everything is center. Dead center. No movement, no wobble wobble. None of that. It's not going anywhere. Straight down the middle. And as you go up, it's gonna space out everything. So here we go. So everything just feels big. Without it, with it. So the stereo enhancer and stereo imaging really accentuates everything that you have panned. So everything that I have like spaced out is that I pan left and right is really showing like where it's located in the rest of the mix. So I'm gonna switch over to Ozone and see what it can do for me instead. Way more things that you can do. Even the learning capability, the AI, is awesome. So we're gonna do 4. We'll do 4. And as I have learned from watching on YouTube and being an idiot myself, make sure you hit stereo or this plugin is not working. It is not working unless you hit this button. It needs to be blue. Make sure it is blue. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So it's kind of like the multi-band compressor and everything else. It had, well, Isotope has it where it kind of learns where you want to place each bracket, each band, and then you use the stereo image in those areas. You can set it yourself, let them do learn. The learn is really nice, but you can focus where you need to spread the image. So we're in the high frequencies. What is that? Kind of like 9K, yeah, 9K and up. That's more where the guitar is located. Don't need that much here. Back just a little bit. Before, after. Yeah, I'm cool with that. That did what I needed to. So we're going to use the Ozone 9 to space everything out. Now we got to balance everything in track by track. So here we go. Just kind of remember where each piece is. So we have a lot of guitar work here. The auxiliary, you really hear that coming out on the top. Piano, mainly in the middle. And that synth, that pushing synth. Nothing much on the bottom, but I think the bottom side of the piano. I don't think it needed to be that much, but I think where it is right now is fine. It should be fine. All right, here we go. Unmute that. How much is this? I want to cover the track. Not that much, because we're going to be doing a little bit of stereo imaging inside of the mastering chain. So let's do that. We're gonna not. It's not gonna be that much. I'll put this at like negative. Let's do negative 375, and then blend it in over time. I need to solo this. There we go. Now go back. So remember, this is on the bottom side. Guitar is on the top. Yeah, I'm liking that. This is that moving synth that's in the middle, mid frequencies. I'm gonna get it a little bit more. Just remember our. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Yeah, about right there. Then our, yep, auxiliary percussion. Now let's do it with the entire track. So now, our auxiliary percussion is a lot stronger now. You're super strong. And our reference. All right. All right. Now, let's get to some editing with what we want to happen across the entire track. So now we gotta pull up the editor. Yagadi! Alright. Let's close this bad boy up. Boom. Now the entire track is what we're looking for. So from listening from the beginning, just remembering off the top of my head, I think a filter sweep coming in would be fantastic. I'm having problems getting my tag in here, but I can hear where my tag would actually go. So open just the instruments up. And we're gonna pull open the instrument buses because this is where we're gonna start doing automation. Actually. On there. Here. There we go. Alright. So now I have my buses that are pulled up. This is where all that stuff is going to happen. So we're going to activate the one knob filter by Waves. It is an amazing filter sweep. I don't really have a thought to use anything else, to be honest. It does what I need it to do. So let's pull her up. Boom. Just one knob. You can adjust the resonance. The higher the resonance, the more it hurts your ears. That's the best way I put it. So I leave it in moderate most of the time, but let's see what it sounds like. This is me creating the sweep myself. Yeah. So in my brain, that last bar is when I want the track to be completely clear. There's no filter. I want the filter to just completely stop at that point. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw that in, since it's not something I would need to do with my mouse or anything to kind of make feel for everything. It's pretty straightforward what I'm looking for. So we're going to, don't need the bypass. I need the actual knob itself, the filter. All right. So I'm gonna make this big. I'm gonna pull this down. Now I'm gonna draw in that at 16, count 1. The filter should be all the way at the top, but at the beginning, I want this to be at 0. Now let's see if there's something that's gonna change in between here. It's already reading what I've just drawn in, and I might be doing some bending or drawing more in here, but we'll see. All right. Yeah, so I automatically already knew I need to hear the track a little bit earlier than it is. So we're gonna add this curve. Let's do this. Start over. Yeah. Yeah, it's high frequencies. I'm actually wondering if this would sound better with the higher resonance. So let's try high. I can see it's working, the knob working. Yeah. And I kind of want to do a tape stop. We're going to see if that works. So where is, boom. So my tape stop option is glitch. Some people know Grossbeat. Grossbeat's it's a FL Studio plugin. I think you can get it on other things if you buy it. And at the time I didn't have the money, and I found glitch, and it works just as well, if not. I'd say it's pretty on par, because I think you have to draw stuff in on Grossbeat to get certain effects to happen. This one you have to draw it in, but it's more linear than anything else. So I want to, so you can see the plugin's going through. I set the beats and counts in my template, so I don't have to worry about that part. Yeah, that's where I want it. Right there. That's where I need it. Okay. Yeah, we'll do a short one. I don't want to do a long one. We'll do a short one. So what you have to do with, with glitch, we're going to draw that one in also. So let's pull up glitch number 1. See, it has a lot of options for automation. So we're going to need the bypass. So we don't need it to go every 8 bars. We don't need that. So I'm going to turn the bypass on, and then we're going to turn it off right before we need it. So I'm going to say that that's right here. I'm going to drag that down, and then I'm going to draw it back up, turn it back on. Boom. All right. We don't have to do the whole thing. We'll start at like 12. Let's see if this is correct. Yeah. I think I might use halftime inside of here. The track sounds so much more warmer. maybe a filter pass one more time. I don't think anything in this song needs to be like drastic exactly. Maybe the build up to the hook, the hype part that we've been listening to for a while. So let's try that again with the filter. We're gonna go here to the other end, and we're gonna actually, let's do this. Let's see what this sounds like. Is this the middle? That's the middle. We don't need it to drop out all the way, of course. Yeah. Want it to last a little longer. We might, okay, little repetition, something recognizing. Or something different. Let's do something different. Bring up my glitch. We're gonna use another glitch. This maybe the re-trigger might be dope right there. Let's see. From glitch. My God, no. Okay, let's try that again. Let's try 30-second notes starting out. I think that would be dope. Let's try that. I think that's an eighth note. That's an eighth note. Let's try that. Okay, we're gonna move that over a little bit. Let's get that. We're gonna get the let's try the eighth notes instead. It's too busy. Almost, it's not right. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Let's try it again. Almost not there yet. Yeah, get it again. Yeah, let's try that. We're gonna do that. So now I need to do the same thing just for the second glitch that's in my chain, as y'all saw. I'm gonna bypass. Boing. Open that up. So we need this bypass to be on for a long time. Alright, so I can't tell where the filter is, filter sweep. So now I'm going to show all the automation. Boom. And now I can tell where it is I need to put everything. So come in a little closer. We're going to play this. That's it. Start drawing it in. is where I'm gonna try to use halftime. Even though it's probably, we'll play with it and see what happens. There's halftime. I think I'm gonna solo that out and then bring in halftime right there. So this point here is where I'm gonna bring it in. So I need to. So now we have to set automation for muting to where I only hear the yada yada yada. And where are you, little buddy? Yeah, the negative 15 one. Is there a solo? Can you put solo? It should be a thing. Interesting. That just means I need to mute everything else but this. I just need to get the right measure. So. So, everything is here. 144. We gotta remember 144. So let's unmute this. Find everything. Alright, so that one. Then bring it back. Oh, I'm an idiot. I did it backwards. There we go. That's how you're supposed to do it. Alright, so this one's going to be the same case. Draw this in. Boom. Next instrument. I think I might have just done this backwards again. Alright, I am tripping. What is happening right now? Yeah. Sorry, guys. This happens a lot, actually. I confuse myself. Y'all just actually get to see it in real time. Alright, put this here. Or no. This is the synth I need still there, isn't it? Yes, it is. So you're gonna still be playing. So take the mute off of this one. Delete. Next. go backwards. Kind of think in context. Do I want to drop out there? Just drop it all out and then choose what I want to add afterwards. I'm trying to keep the idea in my head that I'm going for with this halftime fill. Boom. Boom. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think I might leave it like that with the 808 still playing. So now that since I got that there, okay. All right. So we're bypassing this thing until here. Okay, so I need the halftime to stop right there. So we need the actual this power button in the middle of the halftime so it'll fade out to allow that. There we go, the power on button. Boom. Right there. Cool. Now we got the power on button. And I'm gonna mark it here. So that's where I want it to end, but I think I'm gonna do 1 bar of fade out. All right, let's see. Let's see what it does. Make sure that's lined up. Oh, I'm a dum-dum. Me dum-dum. Me dum-dum. All right, I think that's the right shape. So it's technically 2 bars. 2 bars. 166. Here, let's try it again. All right, so I think a better solution would be to use the mix button instead. Bring it from 35% down to 0. So let's turn this off. We're gonna switch. Halftime. Mix. There's the mix button. So now we know it's at 35. At 166, we're gonna fade that bad boy out here. We can leave it on the whole time. Oh, did I mess up the bypass? I bet I messed the bypass button up. There we go. Dun, dun. So it started too early. Way too early. 169 is where it's supposed to be. So we're going to move you here. And that 35% needs to be right there. Oh, it's one bar out, right? Yeah. So, that's usually the fun part of mixing. You can do all those effects and weird things. I am pretty content with those things. I will take that. Perfect. Boing, 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 boing. Close it all up. It's too much happening. I'll leave the automations out. All right. Now comes the quick mastering for the quick beats. Boom. So since this is all done now, obviously in mastering you want the loudest part of the whole song. So where we've been at before is perfect. We are going to drop back to my reference. Yes. That's the reference volume. Now we're going to pull up our mix console. The only thing we need to see are these. And this is it. So we've done everything in our pre-mix bus. This all has an order to it. So as you can see, I did everything in the pre-mix bus, the effects wise. I do like that halftime mixed in. I was only gonna bring it in for a little bit and then drop it out, but boy. Now, you see this is at -10. At the beginning of the stream, I brought this up that I usually drop this down to -10 before hitting ozone. Because I do not have a complete understanding of the gain staging and trying to balance things out to the end result. How to prepare yourself to leave overhead for the mixing engineer. I'm pretty sure everybody has different methods. I do not understand it fully. So in the time since 2017, is that 3 years now? And of course I'm in the military, so a lot of my time is taken up because of that. I came to the result of dropping my post mix bus down to -10. And then sending that amount through ozone for mastering. That would hypothetically would be what I would send it to the mastering engineer. I've never sent one-to-one before. If there are any master engineers out there that can help me out to figure out what they look for in a mix before they get it, because I want to make your life easier and I want you to make my life easier. We're supposed to work with each other. So if you got any advice, anybody knows anything, any methods, any techniques, all of that, I will take it. So to continue where I was, so now that we have this at -10, I send everything through my tapes. Now, if I was looking for lo-fi things, I would send it through the vinyl, but I don't. I don't have any lo-fi vibes for this right now. I probably could do that on the filter sweeps, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna get y'all through this. So we're gonna use the tapes. Now I know y'all saw me use the tapes last time in Machine and it didn't work out that well. It being down to -10, it's gonna help out quite a bit because of the soft compression coming through the Kramer tape. I still like what it does regardless. It sounded like it was overdoing it, but it was because the gain was like through the roof. All right, so let's do the J37 tape first. And mind you, I do have this at reference volume from my control room here at -11. I found out that was a perfect sweet spot for my headphones and my studio monitors in my room. So I'm sorry if it seems low, but this is where this comes in. You'll see how much gain is going to happen once the limiting process starts in mastering. So let's do this first. So let's do round bottom. go to 3. Now I have to be careful with that round bottom one because it adds some saturation to the low end, the bass and the 808s, and then once it goes through ozone, then it really gets cranked, and I don't need it to be over cranked. So let's try fat, tight, and open, and I drop the noise level out. I don't need tape noise. We're gonna go with the round bottom. I'm probably gonna regret it after adding this soft compression from Kramer. Let's find out. Alright, I don't think it's doing too much, but Ozone's going to tell the truth. Now, guys, I'm going to pull up the tonal balance control from iZotope again. Most of these plugins I use are iZotope. I just got used to the iZotope workflow. It is what it is. So, this tonal balance control will let you know what's really happening. I have it preset to hip-hop because the majority of the stuff I do is hip-hop. Besides the fact when I do orchestral stuff. So, let's see what it's telling us. So we have a low mid issue. And that's where our little synth is. And the highs are ridiculous. Which we can get some control in the mastering process. Alright, let's get Ozone. The Ozone 9 is a mastering plugin by iZotope. It is pretty awesome. I do not know too much about mastering, but it does everything that I needed to for a soft master. Oh my god. Alright, so here we go. It does the same thing like Neutron, but it has everything in it is geared towards mastering. That's the best way I'm gonna put it. The way they manufactured this thing, I said manufactured. I gotta get out of sheet metal. The way this one is built is geared towards mastering. So this interface is still new to me. I'm still getting used to the new Neutron and the new Ozone, the Ozone 9 and Neutron 3, because I've been using 2 and 8 for so long. I'm gonna go for a modern approach, manual loudness, and yes, of course, streaming. Nobody uses CDs like that no more. So here we go. Well, you want to make sure this is at the beginning. Oops. Oh god, Jesus. Let's get this out the way. Alright. Right at the beginning of the loud part. And then it's already set to my reference level of -11 for my room. And we're gonna crank this out. I actually also need to pull up our handy dandy insight to get an understanding of where this needs to be for us. So I forgot which one is it. Oh man, which one is it? That's the way to set this, right? I need this. Yes, there it is. Okay. So I want to say this is supposed to be -14-ish for Spotify and stuff, our average. All right. So between 17 and 14 is what I'm looking for. Anything beyond that is clipping or the algorithms in Spotify, I think Apple, iCloud, Apple Music and YouTube have a normalization that if your audio is coming through at a certain point, like at -14, it will normalize your stuff. It'll stop it. So nonetheless, although most music is going on those platforms, do what you have to do to get what your song's supposed to sound like out. Period. Don't forget that. What sounds good is what it needs to be. What you believe it needs to be is what it needs to be. So I got this set to negative 14-ish. And after doing Ozone's limiting process, we're going to see this low change that it was before skyrocket because the limiter is going to try to push it where it needs to, and I'm going to adjust it from there. So here we go. Wow, we did a lot of gain. And it's about to crank. Dynamics and maximizer. Y'all see that? So we're flipping. So Ozone just took it up to what it thought it needed to be. It exactly put it over what I wanted it to be, but it's not registered here. That's what this is for, to let me know. Obviously, I'm going to adjust this to try to get it in the right area and go from there. So this is a limiter. The maximizer is a limiter, a mastering limiter inside of Ozone. So we're going to adjust this so we can get it where we need to. I see why I did that actually. So if you see the short term, obviously this middle is the average from where I started. I'm going to kind of concentrate in this area right here because it's telling me immediately what's coming through. This right here is going to give me the average of the entire track. So I would restart this whole track, and this will give me the average of the entire track. Here we go with the short term. Actually, yeah, boom. Give it a little more love. Alright, so now I got the level set for the maximizer for the most part. I am going to take a look at this tonal balance, and then we're going to start doing some mastering. Some other mastering. So if y'all remember before when we were looking at this, the low mids were down. Ozone noticed that. That's how smart this thing is. It noticed it, and it brought out the low mids a little bit more. Probably inside of, yes it did, inside of our EQ. You can see right in here, it pumped up the low mids between 300 and 1,000, and obviously this is where this is right here, 300 to about 1,000, 2,000-ish. It cranked it up. Now I'm probably going to do some work with that. I do want to add the low end focus, that new plugin they've added here. After the EQ, I just noticed that it's better that way. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go to 300, and I need it to be punchy, so I know it's super low, but there's something I'm looking for the punchiness to add. This low end focus thing is dope. All right, now. Ooh, that's gonna wreck someone's trunk. Yeah. Turn it back on. So it's really awkward about this. As much as I was talking so much trash about my kick earlier, it's kind of fitting a bit now later on. Through all these other processes, that happens. It just does. It does happen. Okay. So y'all know what left and right are. We're gonna do mid and side. I usually only do mid and side inside of mastering. So let's do this. I'm going to leave this where it is. I don't have a problem with this, but I'm definitely going to add the vintage EQ and do some more finagling to get more of my mids to come out. Definitely gonna do that. So head low and it's thumping now. Now we're gonna do the sides. There we go. This is the sides. Although the tonal balance is telling me I need to drop out a little bit more. This is a reference. These are not like guidelines that I absolutely have to go by. Do what's right for the track. That's always what comes first. Even though it's telling me I need to drop out more highs, I do not like it. I don't like the way it sounds. It's taking away some of the body of the hi-hats a little bit and the shimmer that you kind of need. So this is going to be weird, but I'm actually going to increase it on the side. And to deal with our mid problem, low mid problem, I'm going to pump it up a little bit in the sides in order to give myself some more mid frequencies, a little more body. Band shells, yeah. 300 to 1,000-ish. Sorry if that popped in your ear every time I move something past the maximizer. It always does that. So I'm gonna do some more tweaking with the EQs. The EQs where they are fine, especially the dynamic on the top side. I didn't even think about that when I was back here. When I cut some of that out from the side, or add it to the side, I could have just used the dynamic EQ to add instead. That's probably what would have helped out. But I'm gonna do a little bit more taste with the. Give it a little more taste with the vintage EQ. I just like the warmness that comes from this EQ. It does a really good job with that. It's not as harsh. Anyway, y'all can see it better. I'm sorry about that. So I need a low mid use. Let's say around 700. So I overdid it to prove my point and see where I needed it, and then boost from there. So I'm gonna do a 20K cut instead of the 10. So the 10 made the hi-hats and everything sound a lot more empty. Because I think it's cutting out the body of the hi-hats, but the 20K is a little bit further away from it. You can see that change in the band right there. It stayed on the latter end of things, and I think that's what we're trying to get at. That's what this tonal balance is putting out there for us. Man, that 808 is sounding boomy now. I like it. What is that, 410? Imager time. I think I'm really confident with that. Like I said, guys, I'm not a master engineer. I'm just doing what I believe sounds good and learning these plugins as I go. Remember to turn on your stereo rise. Then we gotta spread out the frequencies. Oh, I got the body of my hi-hats back. And it did mess up the tonal control. Don't need too much in here. So a big thing that I've learned is to over exaggerate or take out the thing that you want to fix completely or crazy, like bring it all the way up or bring it all the way down, and then slowly bring it into where you want to fix it. Identify it before you do that. Especially in EQs, I guess you can, in EQs, most of the time you'll take it all the way up and then sweep to find those bad frequencies. And once you find it, you drop it down. Or the opposite way, one or the other. So. What's up, Jackson? Have I ever used Pro Tools? Yes, I messed with Pro Tools first. I did play with Pro Tools first, and man, I just could not. I couldn't get past the UI for me. To me it was very dated. Um, but the functionality of it, as far as mixing and stuff goes, it is an industry standard for a reason. It is not for me. I will definitely be learning how to use it more because, like I said before, it's an industry standard, especially in media composition, film, and all of that stuff. People use Pro Tools like crazy. I just found Cubase a lot easier to use, and the functionality works for me. It's great for film composition and all that stuff. So that's where I've gotten comfy. Will I get better at that? Eventually. I really will get better at Pro Tools. I don't feel like playing for Pro Tools either right now because I think that was one of the bigger sellers for me. I think it's the amount of tracks that you can use on Pro Tools. I think that factored in. Like for Cubase Pro, you had unlimited tracks, and I think the price difference between that and the Pro Tools ladder of stuff was different. The amount of tracks you can have. I need as many tracks as possible for media composition. I ain't big right now, but if I ever do get big, I need as much flexibility as possible. I don't want to worry about something stopping me. And that kind of sold me even more for Cubase and Pro Tools. But if there's something about Pro Tools that you could tell me about or teach me, I am so down to listen. I really would love to know. I am pretty sure I have this where I want it. This maximizer. I don't think I'm gonna need to touch it again. Let's bypass game match. So I'm making adjustments because I'm feeling like a muddiness. So if y'all heard from that gain match I just did, it's starting to get feels boxy. It does feel a little boxy. I think maybe it over pushed the mids, and now we got a real boxy effect. So let's play with it a little bit more. Oh, Jackson. Yeah, I've had to jump into Pro Tools to layer some tracks with a combo. I'm in a ton of stuff to learn. Haven't used, so I was able to get a monthly subscription. As a grad student, I'm not sure. They restrict you in light. Ah, soka. Okay. See, that's yeah. So nonetheless, I haven't looked at that in almost a year and a half. So what you saying is probably way more right than what I know. Some tracks with the combo. Yeah, man. So what is it that you do inside of Pro Tools exactly? Are you doing videos? Are you editing? Are you a sound engineer? Like, what you got going? What you got pop? I want to know. I'm interested. Yeah, I think about the lighting up on the high end, man. This is That's what I get for not checking that meter while doing this. I broke the barrier. Hot damn. That feels better. Okay, I think I got my top back. Got my hot pieces back a little bit. Alright, guys. Oh, snap. Cody. Okay, basically laying out the form as a template and sending it out to the rhythm section of record parts, and then putting my stuff in mixing. First. Able to play with other people right now. I'd like to get a decent mixing and mastering. Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah, it's taking some time. Like a lot of this stuff, honestly, you have to get in there, get the plugins, really play with your stock plugins, definitely from your DAW, and figure each one out. I still have a big problem with compression. I like messing with ratios and understanding. I could tell when it's light versus heavy, but then I also learned about the, compressing not all in one compressor. So I used to do that and my stuff would be muddy and dull. Like it was so bad. But man, especially for live recordings, like I've been doing a lot of VSTs and instruments, just VST instruments, samples and stuff straight from here. I have yet to do much of recording extra instruments. I want to really get into it, especially for orchestral stuff that I want to do. Learning how to record a live musician and then mixing this in with the rest of it. I gotta really get into that, but I'm in North Dakota. There's not that many people to do that for. But man, I definitely would like to. If you want some help with some of that stuff, let me know. I would love to go back and forth. We can learn from each other if you want. I'm definitely down for learning how to do certain things, and if I got any knowledge that can help you out, we could do that. I'm here for you. Another thing, you said that you're laying out the form as a template and then sending it out to the rhythm section to record parts. So, are you composing a song, or are you composing a song, sending it out, and then having them send the recordings back to you, and then do your thing? But other than that, I think I am at a safe spot. Another piece of advice that I will definitely give everybody: don't try to mix, master. You may be able to pull off creating and mixing in the same day, don't mix and master in the same damn day. Just don't do it. Your ears are lying to you, especially if you doing the mixing process, like keenly doing the mixing process. What you hear today is not going to be the same thing you hear tomorrow. It will not be the same. I've been sitting here listening to this thing for what, the last 3 hours, and like I could tell that the muddiness was happening in Ozone. After doing the gain match, I would definitely leave us alone today before exporting it, listen to it tomorrow, polish it up, then send it out. Then post the song, post the beat, post whatever it is, or send it back to your client. I would definitely hold out an extra day, because what you hearing right now, you get ear fatigue. Ear fatigue is real. It's real. So, but I'm gonna call it now. I believe that I am done. I do not believe I'm anywhere else with this for today. I think I'm good for today. This is a decent session. It's like 3 hours or so. So, but this is my process. It is definitely my process, especially for Quick Beat Friday. I would probably go in there and do a little bit less of using Isotope's artificial intelligence when checking tracks. I would get it as a starting point and then scratch all of those out and start from there, so I can kind of get an idea with different things. I'm always down for listening for other people's opinion, including your computer. So I hope y'all enjoy this. I will be doing this more often, just going through and mixing my stuff and showing you my process. I am working on templates. I might even just hop on a stream just to have some chat conversations. I'm setting up a new orchestral template for all how I want to do media stuff. And I got Albion 1 from Spitfire. I gotta get all this stuff laid out, because you do not want to be doing a bunch of technicals crap when you're trying to get creative stuff out. It will trump you like every time. It'll be, your process is gone. Whatever you thought creative was in your head, you gotta add a plug-in or add an instrument. It takes too long to come in. Yeah, it's too much work. Build your templates inside of your DAW. Figure your DAW out. That is the best thing I can tell you. Figure your DAW out. I still gotta figure this one out. But hope y'all enjoy this. I'm gonna play this from the beginning, and I will definitely catch y'all later. I will try to get this posted. I will do my best. I will do my absolute best. All right. Let's see. Alrighty. So I just have Jackson there, Sublime responded. Well, guys, I definitely want to say, please like, share, subscribe. I will be doing everything I can with these streams. I want to share this stuff. I want people to see my process. I actually want to have more conversation with other musicians. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what genre you're doing. I don't care what part of the music industry you're doing. If you managing someone, or you producing someone, or you trying to figure it out for yourself, if you're a kid and you want somewhere to start, I know it took me a minute to figure this out. It took me till 2017 to figure this out, and I wish I would have known back in high school, to be honest. I really wish I would have known. This is what I really wanted to do. So, I will hit y'all later. Enjoy.